A good home theater is a thing of beauty. However, it does require quite a bit of investment. You need the television or projector, the sound system, the consoles maybe, and all of the space required to really enjoy it all to the fullest. Not everyone has all of those ducks lined up in a row. Thankfully, powerful portable projectors are a great way of greatly elevating the entertainment system of any room, big or small. And it just so happens that my partner and I had a place that was perfect for Yaber's latest powerful projector. Hey, it's Josh of Vergara. What's going on, everybody? This right here is the Yaber K3 projector. Shouts out to Yaber for sending me the K3 to use and for my girlfriend to make a permanent part of her guest room. Also, thanks to Yaber for sponsoring this video as I get to enjoy this super bright and actually super loud projector. And by loud, I'm talking about the built-in speakers, which we'll get to in a little bit. All of the bits you need to start enjoying content, whether streamed or wired, is here, with the Yaber K3 sporting 2 HDMI ports next to audio and internet connections. But built into this beefy body of the K3 is a proper Google TV box, giving it all of the smart capabilities that you might need. It's set as one of the main destinations every time the projector is booted up. Simply hit TV and Google TV becomes your home. The result is access to all of the various streaming services you could want, including Netflix. Netflix is actually given prime positioning on the included remote, right next to Disney+, Amazon Prime Video, and YouTube. I will say, this YouTube button gets a lot of use. All of the enjoyable content is then blasted out of this big bulb right here that emits a brighter image than most portable projectors in this category. At 1600 ANSI lumens, the resulting 1080p image can be viewed even with ambient light coming through the windows or with some lights on in the background. That brightness is really impressive, and it makes this an entertainment setup that can be used at basically any point in the day. As a matter of fact, my partner and I are up here in this guest room way more often now to lounge and watch or even play some fun games on our consoles. Both the Nintendo Switch and my new PS5 Slim can remain plugged in together since there are those two HDMI ports. Now, I know that 1080p resolution sounds a little bit low, but it is a move that helps Yaber achieve the sheer brightness of the K3. The image is still plenty enjoyable with noticeable detail, especially when you make sure to hit the 4K setting anyway on the YouTube videos. Yaber also keeps things pretty simple when it comes to image customization. There are a slew of color profiles provided, but you can dial things in yourself here in the user mode. It's in the user mode that I usually go for a little bit more saturation and maybe a little less added sharpness. It's pretty easy to just boot up and get going with the K3, even more so because of the autofocusing and auto keystoning, which work quite quickly to adjust the image. Now, if you're a constant fiddler like I am when it comes to these kinds of products, you'll be happy to know that right here on the remote are the focusing and keystoning buttons. They're right on the remote, not usually there with other projectors. Now, we do have the projector at just about the most acute angle that it can handle without the image getting too affected. But even then, sometimes I just keep adjusting things on this remote. Thankfully, I don't have to go through a bunch of menus to find all of those important settings. So clearly the area over the bed here in the guest room was primed for a big screen, but there's no way that we would put a huge or even small TV here out of safety. That's why the projector makes perfect sense, with this stand right here that my girlfriend actually got so it can properly project the image high above the bed. But it would all be for naught if the sound experience was lackluster. Thankfully, that's one thing Yaber really put a lot of effort into. There are dual 15-watt JBL speakers in here that fill out the rest of the space in this projector, aside from the cooling system, pumping out Dolby sound that is honestly really impressive. I mean, I won't blow out your ears in this video, but notice how the volume wheel has way more past the point that I have it set to at that moment. I went not even that far from that point and the K3 got super dang loud.
I'm trying to add the reverb.
Maybe hit the G harder.
Maybe it's like, maybe you gotta smile a little bit, right? They're happy. It's like, that's game.
That makes this perfect for the small area of this room, as the soundstage is good to fill the space, and it is certainly more than enough considering the projector is usually sitting right next to this couch. If you do happen to have this K3 set up outside or in a more social setting, you can actually use the speakers built in here as external audio thanks to the included Bluetooth capability. I can see this being something you have out at like a movie night or something, but until it's time to put on the film, you can play music while grilling or whatever else might be going on. There's even a K3 Pro model available that Yaber outfits with a wireless subwoofer, which honestly the entertainment nut in me really wants. Speaking of sound, the projector's fans aren't super loud, which is pretty great considering there are multiple fans and a straight up cooling system in here to make sure the K3 doesn't overheat or heat up the room that it's in. While the proximity of the projector to the couch does mean that my partner and I sometimes hear that slight hum, it's definitely far from a deal breaker. Besides, when it comes to gaming, I might be too far into my matches or my games to really notice. And that brings me to gaming, because who doesn't love playing some fun stuff on a large projected screen? As I mentioned before, the 1080p resolution is a deliberate choice on here for the sake of the bulb's overall brightness. But another spec to consider here here is the 60Hz refresh rate. Sure, gamers might wish that there was a faster refresh rate, but if you're not the type of gamer who gets super sweaty in the competitive games, or if you're just in it for the ride and the story, like me, well, it's definitely more than enough. Consider for a moment that the Nintendo Switch is a 1080p console when it is docked, and it certainly never gets above the 60Hz refresh rate itself. And when it comes to my PS5 over here, I am playing games like Sifu or Ghost of Tsushima, which all still look gorgeous on the K3. Rest assured that the gaming experience here will be plenty for most people, and if you're someone that needs even more than the K3 provides, consider for a moment that putting all of those features into a display this massive effectively will jack up the price point in a real hurry. All in all, the Yaber K3 is just what this room needed, and even then it can move around when the mood strikes us to enjoy big screen fun in a different room or a different place. The set of features that Yaber managed to put into the K3 makes it a great all-in-one solution for watching, playing, and even listening. Google TV? Check. Multiple HDMI connections? Check. Easy to set up? Check. Super bright and good image quality? Check and check. So if you're in the market for a bigger screen without breaking the bank, consider the Yaber K3. It could make for a great holiday gift, one that everyone can enjoy. Okay, now I'm itching to get back to playing PS5 with this projector. Thanks again to Yaber for sending me the K3 and for sponsoring this video. But with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and call it on this one. Thank you so much for kicking it with me again today. Please take care of yourselves and each other, and enjoy your tea, everybody.